it has to be recorded that an unusual thing happened to me last night in a dream. Now, I manipulate my dreams where I can, via one method or another, and sometimes that's via putting certain music into my ears. Something that goes straight from my phone that's recorded on there via Spotify or whatever into my soul, into my brain, wherever that stuff goes, bypassing everything in between. Last night I put Verdi's Requiem on. I put all sorts of things on. I might put the BBC World Service on because those guys put me to sleep, and that's good sometimes. But depending on what program comes on the BBC World Service, that might affect my dreams. Verdi's Requiem last night affected my dreams. Something sublime came on. I know it because in the dream I was listening to sublime music that made me go born again Christian. Those guys, you can tap them on the head and they fall over. And there are other sort of people in the world who, the whirling dervishes, for example, and the Sufi Islamic people, these people whip themselves up into a state in the waking state. I can't do that. But last night in the sleeping state, I did it. It was exactly the same as if I was a born-again Christian or a whirling dervish or a Sufi. And what happened was, just the right music must have kicked in. I do remember it was sublime and it was just filling my brain. And I remember that like a huge, impossibly amazing sound. I've had Verdi's Requiem on my headphones just now, trying to find that spot, but it could have been any one of many spots in this thing that I'm listening to. And I'm getting familiar with it while I'm listening to it. So, but anyway, I won't be able to find the exact spot, maybe. But there was a moment last night where I was thrown into an ecstatic state, as if I was the sort of person that had the power to do that, which I don't normally, but in my sleep apparently I do. And I don't remember actually having been in this state ever before in a dream either. I've been in other states, I've been in my backyard with aeroplanes crashing all around me, all that sort of stuff. Nothing to do with 9/11, it was to do with something else. Anyway, so there I was, and it was amazing. And so I was able to, so, whether you say dreams are real or not, the ecstatic state was. And now, the bit I only remember about 5 seconds of it, but that was enough. And I was standing on an impossibly amazing sort of surface, I'll call it. And it was gold, but it was giving off light. And I remember jewels on it. And I do remember a big jewel, like right near my foot, in front of my foot. And I was just going, eyes rolling back in my head, oh my God, this is great, And then I looked down at my feet. This is the 5-second bit of the dream I remember. It's 2:30 in the afternoon now. This is all I remember. Probably should have made this as soon as I woke up. Morning, you wouldn't believe what I just had a dream about. But I didn't do that, so I'm here at 2:30 p.m. in the city instead of in my bed. But I looked down at my feet, and I put my foot near this big green emerald or something, because I was in an ecstatic state, and I went, oh my God. I looked down on this whole floor or surface or whatever that I was standing on in another dimensional world or something. I don't know where I was. And I put my foot down and I got a rush, oh my God, and the music and in my head, but I'm not listening to the music's inside my head because the earphones go, and you're having a dream anyway, so it's all straight into the soul, this stuff. It's not like you're sitting in a concert hall when you've got something in your head. This is like Verdi 150 years ago or 130 years ago or something, and recording something inside my, conducting inside, playing inside my head, because you're bypassing a lot of levels there. when Verdi 130 years ago is playing music straight from his head. You would think it's almost like his head is connected into mine. It was amazing. It probably had to be recorded. You know what? If I get hit by a truck tomorrow, just play this, and say, play this thing I just recorded now, and say, gee, if I get hit by a truck tonight, and say, well, you went out on a high note, and the Christians in the audience at my meagre funeral can say, oh, that was a sign, if I don't get hit by a truck today or tomorrow or anytime soon, just don't worry about that sign thing, because when prophets make predictions, you just remember the good bits. You don't remember where they get it wrong. You just remember the bits where they got it right. Do that trick.